Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So we got a whole bunch of new Young Justice Season 3 to talk about. The creators just dropped a new promo. I don't know if they meant to, but there was one on the website that people found, and then the producers started posting it like, here's a new promo, everybody enjoy. So everyone started freaking out, but it has had a couple new characters that we haven't seen before, and it confirmed some of the alternate costumes in the previous promos that they released way back at Comic-Con. But if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the Young Justice videos. Obviously, it's not premiering till later this year. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video because there's been some more evidence about when Titans is going to premiere, and Titans is supposed to precede Young Justice Season 3, as in Young Justice Season 3 won't premiere till after Titans is done airing all its episodes. They also dropped a Cyborg-sized bomb in the Titans universe. So what's happening is Doom Patrol is going to be another live-action TV series. Cyborg will premiere on that TV show. So I'll probably have to do a separate video about this later, but if you ever wondered about Cyborg joining the Titans on that DC streaming service, it sounds like he will because he's going to be part of the Doom Patrol show. Doom Patrol is going to be a spin-off of Titans. So just open up a bookmark for that. We'll talk about that after Young Justice. So left to right, characters on this new promo here. Some of these are obviously new. Katana, Geoforce, Metamorpho. This red character in the middle, I'll talk about him because there are a couple of theories about who he is. Katana, you know who she is. Pretty self-explanatory. She's already been in the live-action Suicide Squad movie. She's been all over the cartoons for a while. She's a member of the Outsiders in the comic books. Young Justice Season 3's subtitle is Young Justice Outsiders. So naturally, they have a huge, big new roster of characters. A lot of those are going to be characters from the Outsiders comic books. There's Geoforce in the green costume. If you don't know who he is the brother of Tara Markov, his Breon Markov, like Baron Markov. They briefly touched on those characters. Tara showed up during the new Teen Titans Judas Contract storyline, but obviously you have to kind of treat that like it's in a different universe. Young Justice is meant to be its own self-contained universe, which is why there are certain rules for the Speed Force and how the speedsters work. So I'll also address that too, because they did say that they would be doing some DC Rebirth storyline, and I think that's more specific to the Wally West character. Although, a lot of character redesigns and backstory changes. Red character in the middle, two possibilities for who he is. He could be a version of Wild, who's a good character. He's just a bear. Like, he has claws. You can see he has 4 arms, though. Bears and the Wild character in the comics do not have 4 arms. He could be a version of Goliath. Just my 2 picks based on how he looks. So many websites and people on Twitter were confused about this woman in the yellow costume, but I just think it's an alternate costume design, like an upgrade for Bumblebee. Because based on Black Lightning and some of these other characters in the background like Nightwing, we know that the characters have multiple costume changes. So like, Wally West had his stealth costume that was an alternate design during Young Justice Season 1 and 2. The other characters, which I'll explain in a second, also have alternate costume changes. So there are a number of different costume promos they released at Comic-Con, and people thought that they might be different characters, but they're really just the same characters with alternate costumes. But obviously everybody knows who Metamorpho is. He was a member of the Outsiders too. There's Nightwing with a slightly alternate costume. There were some people that thought that this actually might be a different version of Nightwing, but no, he just has a slight costume change and a slight hairdo change. Just remember that because of this big upgrade for the series moving to the DC streaming service, they spent more money, more time redesigning the characters, so everybody's going to get tweaked just a little bit, meaning costume upgrades, multiple costumes in slightly different haircuts, mostly to highlight the time jump. Customary time jump, just like there was a time jump between seasons 1 and 2, based on the Tigress character. She's actually a good benchmark when you compare this look to her look at the end of season 2. So obviously in the background here, you have Tigress, you have Black Lightning, which is a much younger version of the character if you've seen the live-action Black Lightning TV show, and then Superboy. A lot of people were wondering where Superboy was in that Comic-Con promo they released last year, because he didn't have his S on, he was in one of the stealth costumes. But Tigress in the time jump. So look at her at the end of season 2, they're still supposed to be Young Justice, relatively teenage characters, but older teenagers. Look at her in this new promo from season 3. Does she not look like someone in her mid-20s? Like, look at Superboy here too. He also looks like he's quite a bit older, but still very young. I think this new time jump is going to be closer to 5 years, because that's about how long it's been in real life. So think about how much the characters have changed in the way that they look, the way they wear their hair, their costumes, in a 5-year period. That's why I think that they're doing more adult storylines, as they call, quote unquote adult storylines. What does that mean? That just means more adult topics than, say, you would find in something like Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go, obviously the bane of most Teen Titans fans. But you can see how one skews towards very young children, and then there are more adult cartoons, like Rick and Morty is probably a really good example of an adult cartoon. Young Justice Season 3 is supposed to be more adult than Young Justice Season 1 and 2 was. But now, going back to the Comic-Con promo, we can say that we know these are now alternate costume designs, stealth costumes for these characters. So left to right, there's Artemis in a slightly different costume, you have Nightwing because of the Eskrima sticks, you have Black Lightning because of the beard, and you have Superboy that just doesn't have his S on the chest. So you look at this other big promo they released at Comic-Con, and you can see Artemis right here on the right side is wearing a red different costume. It just means the characters are going to have multiple costume changes during the season. So left to right, some of these are actually pretty obvious. You have Static, you have Bart Allen, you have Tim Drake, you have Cassie Sandsmark Wonder Girl, you have the Stephanie Brown spoiler, Blue Beetle, very obvious, not much of a costume change for him. New character right next to him is Tracy 13. She's a magic user. She's supposed to get a live-action TV show on the CW next year at some point. Then obviously you have Artemis, you have Roy Harper, and Beast Boy. So very clearly, these are not all of the characters, there's still some missing people, but because they dropped that new promo and the creators were sharing it, they'll probably be dropping something more pretty soon. They said they just finished recording all the dialogue for all the episodes, and there will be 26 episodes total. They didn't say when the exact premiere date is going to be, but like I said, there was a rumor about when Titans was starting, and they were supposed to start after Titans finished its run. One of the actors from Titans posted this, said, "See you this summer," as in the episodes would be dropping this summer. So people are like, oh wow, he very clearly went back and changed that because somebody from the network saw that and was like, you spoiling when the premiere date's going to be. So when he's saying summer and implying that they're going to premiere during the summer, that's probably the end of the summer. Because one of the writers, for instance, was up in Toronto where they're shooting the TV series, and they're in this big warehouse saying they're getting ready to shoot a scene. So they're still working on Titans. It's going to be a while before they finish all the episodes. So earlier this year, my theory was that they would try to premiere an episode or at least part of an episode at Comic-Con, then within a couple weeks of Comic-Con, start premiering the actual episodes. Now, they're not confirming anything, but if this actor is saying, "See you this summer," it just seems like that's kind of the idea that they're going for, but no actual day confirmation. Like, what is the day we will actually be able to pay for this DC streaming service or watch it, whatever their revenue model is going to be. And then, obviously, after those episodes air, we'll get some Young Justice Season 3, and I imagine they'll just stretch that out till the Harley Quinn show premieres, and then we learned about the Swamp Thing TV show. And you may have just seen that they announced that the Doom Patrol is going to get a 13-episode spinoff when they debut on Titans, so it's all part of this Titans DC streaming service universe. But they did quote that Cyborg was going to show up on the Doom Patrol TV series. So a lot of you, when Titans was announced, was like, what's the roster going to be? Is Cyborg going to be a member? This just seems like it's backdoor confirmation that we will eventually see Cyborg with the Titans at some point, even if he's only a recurring character, because he's a little more expensive to do because of the CG that's required. So he exists inside this Titans universe. It just seems like a matter of time before he shows up on the Titans TV series. But obviously when these do drop, I will do videos for all the episodes, so there'll be a lot of reminders when we get to Comic-Con. That's really when I'm expecting them to reveal all this information, like these are all the details for how you will watch these episodes. But what's happening later tonight is the embargo is up on Deadpool 2, so I'm allowed to post my non-spoilery review. You can click here for that. I'll update the link when I post that, and you can click here for brand new Flash. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.